Welcome everyone to the Focusing Gems phone call. My name is Catherine Torpy, and I'm the Executive Director of the International Focusing Institute, and I'm really delighted to be offering this experience of some focusing gems. And we have with us today the four fantastic human beings who are going to be our teachers at our 12th annual Focusing Institute Summer School, which we call FIS for short. And the four people, I'll just ask them maybe to wave. I'm not sure if you can see all of, I don't think those of you participating actually can see all of us, but the four people are Glenn Fleisch, who will be offering you a focusing gem first, and Tobias von Schultes, Nada Liu from Canada, and Ann Weiser-Cornell from California. Glenn is also from California. Tobias is from Switzerland. And so we're really so excited to have this wonderful international group of teachers who are just, I've gotten to know each one of them, and I'm very excited that we can offer you today just a little gem from each person, a real experience of focusing from each person. I'll say a little bit more a little later in the call about the summer school FIS, so that we can give you even more gems if you're able to be with us at FIS. I'll come back and say a little bit more about it and offer, give you a special offering. But without further ado, I would,
do you want to just tell about the Q&A, Catherine?
Oh, yes, I do want to tell about the Q&A. Thank you so much, Anne, for that reminder. Yes. So this is a webinar format. Some of you might be familiar with using Zoom as a meeting space, but in the webinar format, you are welcome really at any time to use the Q&A down at the bottom of your Zoom screen. There should be a icon that says Q&A. If you don't see it, you move your mouse and the Q&A will appear. You can at any time write a question or a comment. I will be collecting those. So we will have a question and answer period at the end. But if you have any technical questions, I can help you deal with those. So don't worry, you won't be interrupting the person speaking if you write whatever you need to write into the Q&A. Okay, great. Thank you, Anne, for reminding me to say that. Okay, and without further ado, our first teacher will be Glenn Fleisch, who will be offering us the first focusing gem. Glenn.
Okay, thank you so much, Catherine. I assume I'm on the screen, so welcome everyone. My name's Glenn Fleisch. I'm going to give us a taste of a basic whole body focusing exercise that I particularly love, and I call it awakening, or awakening to the body spirit. So I'm going to start, as some of you may know, I love poetry. So just a few snippets to get us in the space, and then I'll just guide us through the process. And you follow along. Of course, in focusing, we know that you follow your body's own process. So if my words or rhythm don't fit, then just follow what your body is wanting you to do. So Rumi says to us, let go of your worries and be completely clear-hearted. And Kabir says, hiding in this cage of visible matter is the invisible lifebird. Pay attention to her. She is singing your song. And Mary Oliver says, you do not have to be good. You do not have to walk on your knees for 100 miles through the desert repenting. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. So with these three as our inspirations, we're going to do a basic attunement in a whole body focusing way to begin to awaken our connection with what I call our natural body. And our natural body is a body of aliveness, of spirit, of life energy. So for this demonstration, I'm going to stand. I hope you can see me and hear me. And I invite you in your own way to see if it might feel right for your body to stand. It may also want to sit or lie down. So what we do is we're giving the body the invitation to find its own way into how it would need to be. I particularly like to stand because it gives my body a little bit of a freedom. So the first aspect is very simple. As we're standing, bring your awareness into your body. I may close my eyes a little bit or open them. Maybe invite a breath and just give your body permission at the beginning to just sort of do what it would like. We do this because we trust that the body has a knowing or a wisdom of its own. We treat it as its own living being. So when I go into the body and I say, body, what do you need right now to feel more present? So I notice right away something may start to happen. I feel a little bit in my shoulders. Just be aware of whatever happens in your body. Give it some time, just a moment to say, how would it need to be? If you're sitting, you may notice a little shifting in your seat. If you're standing, your body may sway. However it needs to be, just give it a moment. In whole body focusing, permission is very important. We give it permission. And we actually say that to the body, treating it like its own little soft animal. Body, how would you like to be? And then it starts to move or unwind. And also be aware of whatever comes into your body. It may not be what I'm sharing. It may certainly not be what my body's doing. But give it a moment. So this is the very beginning. We just let the body do whatever it needs. And as that's happening, and we're breathing into the body space, begin to sense your own body as a living entity coming alive in its own way. And that's the very beginning. Sometimes it needs to stretch. Think of wakening. So often when an animal wakens, it stretches. Even when we waken. When a plant wakens in the morning, it opens to the sun. So this wakening is a natural process of stretching out and opening up. So we give that a moment. In a longer attunement, obviously we give it more time. So this is just a taste. While the body is beginning to open, then we bring awareness to the support structures. So we sense the groundedness. I like to feel my feet and legs. So we bring awareness to this space, the space of our physicality. So I feel my legs, my pelvic area. If you're sitting, you may notice your sit bones. So really feel that. This is a support. It provides a contact with the physical environment. And just hold that for a moment. And that contact provides a safety, as if the hands or arms of Mother Earth are cradling our body. And just to feel that in your lower body and then maybe through your upper body. So we become aware of our physicality, just as it is. The physical body connected to the support structures. And that naturally brings an awareness of the larger environment. So our body is always interconnected, so we may sense the space around us. Be aware of that. And the space outside of us, so we may notice trees or nature, whatever brings an expansiveness. In a sense, everything is alive with spirit and with energy, so we can open that possibility. And when I do that, I do feel an expansiveness, as if it's calling back to me. So as we feel that space, we bring awareness to our inner space, just noticing how it is in here, in our inner body, the place most of focusing happens. connected to our physicality, connected to our larger environment. Now what we're going to do is a specific kind of invitation. As we're standing, begin to sense if you invite in whatever the felt sense of spirit feels to you in your body. One way to sense it is just like Mary Oliver said. What does your body naturally love? What brings it joy? What is it naturally drawn to? Just give it a moment and give permission for your body to love what it loves, to awaken to its own life, its own energy, in its own way. Take a moment. And when you sense something coming, just give that a hello or a welcome. Oh, my body loves to move, for example, or it loves nature. And this is very important to just give that permission to wake up or awaken to its own life and love. So take a moment to let that in. And we're going to do one more possibility before we close. As you sense your body's energy coming to life, beginning to love what it loves, treating it like the soft animal it is, imagine you could hold that in the container of your physical body. So as you leave today's webinar, just begin to feel, can I give permission for my body to love what it loves, to connect with its natural rhythms? And finally, as a closing, I'm going to sit back down for a moment and just close with a very short poem by Rumi, which relates to awakening. And he says, don't go back to sleep. The breeze at dawn has secrets to tell you. Don't go back to sleep. You must ask for what you really want. Don't go back to sleep. People are going back and forth across the doorsill where the two worlds touch. The door is open and round. Don't go back to sleep. Thank you so much. And now I'm going to turn it over to Tobias, who's going to share something of his gem with all of us.
Thank you very much. And yes, I'm very delighted to introduce you two small exercises, focusing and playback theater. These are two things that go so well together, and I want to invite you to explore the possibilities to tell, express, and sense stories only through your facial expression. So it's a mime exercise, and we start with a little warm-up. So put your feet on the ground and feel really supported and connected to the ground, and also feel your position, how you are sitting, on what you are sitting. Just sense for a moment. And then also sense your body's position. Have a straight position so that you can breathe easily. And just relax, breathe, just do a relaxed breathing. Just let breathing just happen. Well, fine. Now I ask you to close your eyes. And I ask you this because with closed eyes, it might be easier to start with this exercise. And so I ask you really to close your eyes and to touch with your hand, with your fingers, your face, and explore the landscape of your face, of everything that is here and that's mainly looked at and not so often touched like it is looked at. So explore your landscape of your face, your chin, your cheeks, your forehead, your eyebrows, brows, yeah. And now continue and take your, and with your fingertips, you gently tip on your face, and like this you get a little fresh energy on your face. Now, just pause. And in this silence, maybe thoughts or little stories or memories or feelings or something else is popping up. And I invite you now to allow you to make all this, what's in your head popping up, to make all this visible through your facial expression. And all you have to do for this is give space so that your face muscles feel invited to move. And you still can keep your, and I advise this to you, keep your eyes closed and just watch how your face muscles start to move. There are small movements or maybe bigger movements. All is here to be explored. Keep your eyes closed, just listen what the moving face muscles are telling you. Wonderful. Find an ending. And find the last word of the story or the stories that just had been told. Find the last word of the stories that just had been told. And let all go now, and open your eyes. So I want to offer you another different exercise. And now I invite you to explore telling and sensing stories with your hands. And bring your attention to your hands. Just move them. And this is how it works. There is the right hand or the left, it doesn't matter. But take your right hand, and then the hand moves and tells a story. And you don't think about it, but the hand just has the story in it. And the left hand is waiting and listening. And at a certain moment, the hand pauses, the right hand. There is a moment of no action, pause, and then the left hand is answering. And the other hand is listening. There is a pause, and then we continue. The right hand is answering again. I leave you now with this little exercise. Just keep in touch with your breathing while your hands are moving. Now I know it could continue forever and ever. It's not boring at all, but time is over. And to finish, please bring these two hands together so that they can say to each other, thank you for listening and telling their stories. Like this, whatever is fine. And now I thank you all for participating. I hope you enjoyed it. And I pass over to Nada.
Thank you, Tobias. My hands are saying thank you to you and hello to everybody. And I want to catch on one piece of what you said. You mentioned the last word in the sentence. And that's where I am going with let's think different. We think from our own felt sensing edge. And this is a little different because usually we say, don't go in your head. And actually thinking at the edge is a dialogue between your felt sense and your thinking. And the felt sense has to say yes before the thinking can accept it as valid. So I intend to do an exercise, and we'll have to go faster than I usually give time, of course, for my few minutes. And I want to lead you into an experiential exercise that involves some writing, so have somehow something to write a little bit. Every one of us has something that has this sense of knowing. And very often we find ourselves in a situation that we want to say something, we catch on the words that are available to us, and we feel, well, we said it, but we are either misunderstood or I know better and I can't say it. So this exercise is going to show you how you get the fresh meaning out of your felt sense. Okay, so let's start with, I suggest that we do the same topic, But when you do TAE, you do your own topic, but it takes time to find one. If you have one, please do. But otherwise, I suggest this topic. Ask yourself and write down in one short sentence, what made me interested today to attend these jams? Why am I here? Why am I spending my valuable time listening to this for teachers, and write it down. I will ask the same question myself, and I will read to you my sentence to model for you how to do it. Okay, of course I did my exercise before, so I didn't just create it on the spot. So my sentence is, I am providing an opportunity for participants to experience how to nurture new language from their felt sense. So that's my sentence. And I'll give you a few seconds to write yours. And in your sentence, I would like you to find one word that kind of holds the sentence together. If you took that word out, the sentence would fall apart. And underline that word. In my sentence, the word is nature, nurture, sorry. My word is nurture. So if I ask myself, I don't ask myself yet, the words that we use are available to us from shared language or public language and have a lot of general meaning. So to nurture means all kinds of things. And when somebody hears me saying to nurture something, it means different thing to them than what I know, but I don't have the words yet to say it better. So what we are going to do, you probably won't have time to do that, but later on you might try to do it. I'm looking into thesaurus or dictionary to give you an example of what in public language the word nurture means. And for me, what it says is support, cultivate, mother, parent, care. So I go into my sentence again and say, well, what I meant there, well, support would be okay, but it could be better. Cultivate maybe, but mother or parent is definitely not what I mean. Care is kind of there. Okay, so take a moment to, I think I can give you that much time to have a quick look if you have a thesaurus or dictionary. What does your word mean? But again, it's going to be better if you do it after. But you're going to find sometimes that what you meant does not actually exist even. And now we are going to start thinking from our felt sense. This is where we have a freedom of asking yourselves in the felt sense. In this sentence where I'm talking about working with you here and providing some nurturing for you to find your words, I ask myself, what do I want this word to mean? And you are as free as you can go. It can mean anything, because nobody needs to know at this point what it means to you except to yourself. So we are breaking the language barrier here. Language barrier, we kind of short circuit ourselves into words that are available to us, and we are misunderstood. or not understood. So when I ask myself, what does nurture means to me? You can use little phrases, not just words. It means gently teased out, carefully guided, explored, looking for a right fit. Fit the meaning by rearrangement. See how different it is than just the word nurture? And I want you to, when you try this exercise again, to give yourself time and write as many words as you want, but try to think of maybe 5 or 3 right now, just to get a sense of how it's going to look. So now, what I want you to do is to go back to your original sentence where you underline the word and add these 5 or 3 words, as many as you got. So where my nurture was, I am going to add the 5 words that came from my felt sense. So I'm going to show you what I got out of it, because we are kind of running out of time. So my sentence originally was, I'm providing an opportunity for the participants to experience how to nurture new language from their felt sense. Now, I'm putting the other words in here and kind of arranging them. I am providing an opportunity for participants to experience how to nurture, gently tease out and explore for the right fit of meaning into new language from their felt sense. See how it's different, how much more there is? And if I said just nurture, somebody would say, who cares about just nurture? But when you really go to your meaning, it looks nice. I'm pretty happy with it. And you can do this kind of exercise immediately. Just find what it means for public and then go into your meaning, and you are allowed to put there whatever comes to you. Okay, so that's my piece, and I'm passing it on to Catherine to say a few more things about what you have to say.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Nada. And I just want to say we've gotten a few questions coming in, so I want to assure those who are asking the questions that we'll address them during the Q&A. So you are free to keep those coming. We welcome any questions or comments as we go. So I am so grateful already for the experiences I've had with the 3 of you, and we have another Ann Weiser Cornell coming up, but this is just a short moment to tell you just a little bit more about the Focusing Institute Summer School FIS. And Nada, as taking your invitation, my sentence that I came up with was why I'm on the call, is I believe in focusing. It's kind of a long sentence. I believe in focusing, and I believe in FIS, and I want people to have a little taste of being awash in focusing teaching. That's what came to me.
That's exactly, yeah.
Yeah. And I've taken your TAE course at the summer school. I as Ann and Nada are the ones who started the summer school 12 years ago, and so we're eternally grateful to them. They've taught every year for 12 years. Glenn and Tobias are just coming this coming year. And before I came into my role as the executive director, I attended the summer school every year as just the highest priority in my year. I scheduled everything else around it, and I just really believe in it. And when I thought about the word believe, Nada, I said what I meant by that is I have deep gratitude for the experience of myself in the world and in life that I want to share. I find that focusing is a reliable way to experience life as miraculous, and I feel filled with gratitude even for things that seemed like troubles. That's what came to me. So that's what I'm wanting for everyone who is on this call now or will be seeing this video later is I'm hoping that you've had some experience of that so far, and that you will have it with Anne in a moment. And we really just want to support all of you in deepening or growing into focusing. When I first attended the summer school, I had already been a focuser for 10 years, and it had already changed my life enormously. And then when I spent a week awash, as the word came to me just now, in all of this depth of teaching from so many different angles, it really, really deepened something that was already quite profound for me. So I want that for all of you. I hope for that for all of you. And so we have a little special for those of you who registered in advance for this this Focusing Gems experience. That if you haven't registered for the summer school yet, and if you do so by June 15th, you will receive $100 off of the cost of the week. And to do that, when you register, there's a box that says special instructions. You'll just put a note in that says something like Gems discount $100. You don't have to get the wording exactly right. Rita or Elizabeth in our office will see that note and will subtract $100 from the cost of the summer school for you. So I thought the last thing I'll say before I hand it back over to Anne is that when Glenn read that beautiful Rumi poem, Don't Go Back to Sleep, I was thinking about that this experience. I'm hoping that those of you who are on the call who haven't yet registered for the summer school, that if this is a meaningful experience for you, that encouragement to continue, not go back to sleep, and just continue and deepen and connect with a community of focusers, which is one of the really beautiful things about the summer school. So with that, I will toss over to Anne.
Thank you, Catherine, and thank you so much to Glenn, Tobias, Nada. Nada, my sentence was, I want to be a full participant as part of a team of equals, and then team came out as interconnected circle of fully using the gifts of each. And that is part of what happens at the summer schools. That's so wonderful, is that the teachers are this interconnected circle, fully using the gifts of each, and the community that forms around it. I don't know how many people have experienced feeling fully accepted as you are by and in a whole community of people. That's healing all in itself. Okay, so the gem that I'd like to share with you today has to do with releasing blocks to action. And a block to action is when there's something you want to do, but you don't do it. Or you need to do it, but you don't do it. And it's most interesting to me when there's something you really want to do that would fulfill you, that would make you happy. Reminds me of what Glenn said about, what does the body love? And right away I thought, oh, playing my guitar. And then I sensed, well, how long has it been since I played my guitar? So there's something you love and you don't do it. All right. So we're going to do a little exercise that's a focusing exercise for turning toward and getting to know better the part that doesn't do it. And the philosophy of focusing is always to turn toward and be curious and interested. everything that occurs in us is something to become interested in, and something that has its own direction of life and change. So let's try that out. And I hope you've got something in mind that's something you would love to do, that maybe you've never done it, write a novel, or create your own dance program. Or maybe you've done it a lot, but you haven't done it lately. So there's something you love, but you don't do it. And this exercise will also work if there's something that you need to do. I love the exercise when it's something that gives you joy. So take your time now to bring awareness to your body and to feel your body's contact on what you're sitting on, and rest into the support that's there. Feeling your breathing and feeling the inner area of your body as well. So beginning to sense in that inner area that includes your throat, your chest, your stomach, your belly. And there's a sentence I invite you to say inside your body. I would love to fill in the blank. I would love to play my guitar more. That's mine. I would love to, and something in me doesn't do it. Oh, and explanations begin to come, right? I don't have time, blah, blah, blah. Hello to that, because we actually don't know yet what's actually going on with the part of you that doesn't do it. That's what we're going to discover. This is an inner conversation. Okay, so you're saying, I would love to, and something in me doesn't do it. And I'm inviting the part of me that doesn't do it to come into awareness somehow. I'm inviting the part of me that doesn't do it to come into awareness somehow. Okay, so invite and wait and sense inside. And in a little while, you'll be able to say to yourself, I feel something. Something is here. It could be a body sense. It could be an image. It could even be what seems to be a thought, like words come. Everything is welcome. Whatever occurs is fine. I'm inviting something that doesn't do it. And I'm starting to feel maybe a little tightness, maybe a little pushback, maybe a little hesitation, whatever it is, give it a little more time to be here. And say hello. Hello, I know you're there, and I'm here to get to know you better. And if there's a part of you that wants to scold this part, like you should do it, let's say hello to that. And let it have its own space. Because there's a part of you that doesn't do this thing that you love for its own good reason, right? It's a good reason from its point of view. Just pausing and sensing in the inner feel of it all. What's going on for that part from its point of view. You might imagine yourself starting to do that activity. I imagine myself picking up my guitar and notice what stops me or what comes in the way. And at first it's not clear. That's good. We stay with the not clear and let something emerge from it. And if something comes quickly, that's okay too. And for me, I'm starting to feel something about it's always the same songs. There's a wanting for some, excuse me a second. There's a wanting for a sense of freshness in the guitar. There's a sense of it getting a little stagnant. And yet there's a not knowing how to have the freshness. So now whatever comes, I'm checking it back with the place it came from. And I hope you can sense that that could be a longer conversation. But what's really important here is that you begin to have that conversation. That it's not just telling yourself, it's listening to yourself. Listening to something in you that maybe hasn't had a voice. And now you might want to thank your body and let it know you'll be back for more of that conversation. All right then. So, is this a time when we might answer people's questions?
Yes, would you like for me to read them out loud?
Yeah.
We can find, yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Is that a good way? Okay. So the first question was whether focusing helps with trauma. Or shall I read them all and let you sort of pick?
Why don't we take that first one?
Okay.
Does focusing, and the second question is the same question, right? Phrased in a slightly different way?
Right. If something traumatic has happened to someone, can focusing help with that?
Uh-huh. Glenn, I know you know a lot about that.
Yeah, yes, the answer is definitely yes. I mean, my other guys, I'm a psychologist. I've worked with as a focusing-oriented therapist for 30 odd years, and definitely can help with trauma, or what I call traumatic patterns that result from trauma.
Mm.
And those patterns are in the body, as and all of us were alluding to. They can come through our gestures, the way we hold ourselves. So absolutely. In fact, what I also have found is that even within the quote unquote trauma places, there's still life energy there that's waiting to be released. Kind of like what Anne was suggesting, that even in something that doesn't want something, there's life energy. So yes, I mean, this is a big topic, but you know, the gentle acceptance of focusing, the awareness of how it's carried in the body, the connection with, in a safe space with another, whether it's a therapist, a listener, companion, is essential. You know? And if people are interested, I have written about it, so they can send me an email. I'll be happy to share articles I have.
Oh, I remember now. We were going to give everybody our email address. in our name. But I don't seem to be able to change my name. That's funny. Oh well.
Okay. We could send them out with the recording, the email address.
Yeah.
Out with the recording. Okay, next question is, when focusing, do you talk about what's upsetting you? Do you use words like sad, unhappy, and depressed?
Sure. Focusing is a wonderful method for times when you're upset. And you would want to be able to turn toward the feel of sad, upset, or depressed as you're holding it now. Now, sometimes words, especially the word depressed, can be a name for a kind of characteristic label for our situation. And if you actually pause and sense freshly in the body, it may not be the word depressed. It may be the word heavy at that moment, or the word sunk, or something that surprises you, like the word longing. And so what's really lovely is the way focusing invites us to sense freshly something that we thought wasn't changeable. And that the change and the forward living is there in this moment of sensing freshly. I hope that answers something.
And I'd like to add to it, what often works is when you use word sad, to ask yourself, when I use word sad, what do I really mean? What does that word mean to me? So if I ask myself right now what the word sad means to me, would be something like, oh, I'm so discouraged. And you see, that's already different than just sad. Or discouraged. Yeah, discouraged about, I'm actually angry that I can't express myself. See how it kind of moves. The words are definitely what comes to you first is beginning only of going deeper in a focusing way.
May I add one thing? What Anne and Nada just shared, and actually relates to Tobias's presentation also, that in a whole body way, every word has a bodily performative component. So if I say depressed and I say, well, how does my body show me that? I may feel a kind of heaviness that wants to collapse, for example. And if I just let that happen, I go with it with permission, then often the energy that's been stuck in that pattern starts to open just by going with it instead of talking about it or even labeling it. Just how does your body hold that word or that feeling? And then something. So it's really about the energy in the place, which of course are also contained in words and in gestures. But that's how I would invite something like that, is you let the body show it as well as describe it and feel it on the inside. I just wanted to add that.
Okay, next question. When I try focusing and try to feel the felt sense, my mind quickly comes up with some answer. Sometimes there is no answer as well, but I don't feel connected to it. How can I learn to be more patient with my body and not jump to quick answers? I feel frustrated because of it.
It is okay not to have answer and give it a space, like a pause. Don't try to answer it, let it come. So give yourself a little pause rather than question and answer. Anybody else?
That says it well. I like that. It comes.
Yeah.
Okay, and then this person requests, it would be lovely to have the exact wording of all the wonderful poems, which Tobias and Glenn, it says Tobias Glenn was reading. I think this person means Glenn.
Mhm.
Hello from Mannheim, Germany.
Mhm.
So maybe we could, in the record, when we send out the recording in the email,
Mm.
we could do that.
Mm.
If that's okay with Glenn.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And then the next person asks, could the summer school come to Europe next summer?
We are working on that
Hope so.
idea.
That'd be nice.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Tobias would like that, yes?
Yes.
We're welcome. Mm.
In Tobias's exercise with the hands, is this connected to a language story as opposed to just a felt movement in the hands without reference to words?
It's no language. There is just referred to your intuition and to what's in the sense of. That's what yes. So just follow your movement, and yes, the challenge or the invitation better is see if what expression is nonverbal and has also very clear expressions. And yeah, there is so much felt sense in the body, and first we don't have words. Maybe first we have gestures, and then that helps to find further words and helps to continue the story.
Lovely. Well, we just have 3 minutes left, Catherine. Maybe, what should we do? Maybe we can't get to all the questions, or?
Yeah, I think we can't. And I just see one came in recently that says, I wondered if we wanted to say, this person asks, could you share a little more about the feel/flavor of the summer school?
Let's do that.
For example, is it busy, or more spacious and restorative? Anything else to share about the experience?
What do you say, Nada?
It's wonderful. Everybody who comes there, they usually say, they said, "Fish, you rock."
You rock.
Yeah.
We have a lot of spaciousness. We
Yeah.
have a lot of
Beautiful
relaxed
grounds.
quality. There's a relaxed quality to the schedule of the day. To call it a school isn't quite right. It's maybe school in quotation marks.
Yeah.
Because what happens in the morning is that you are with one of us for all 5 mornings. And then that allows you to be part of a smaller group and really follow a journey over the 4 mornings. And then the afternoons have a lot of spaciousness in them. And then in the late afternoon, you go to a workshop with one of the other teachers. And the evenings have maybe some videos, maybe some play. It's in a beautiful setting where there's lovely walks. And the building itself has a lot of spiritual quality. It's a meditation hall that we'll be in. There's a lot of quietness there. And we have yoga in the morning and movement exercises in the late afternoon. Those are optional, of course, so you don't have to feel like you have to do everything.
And opportunity to partner in what you learn with other people in free time to have partnerships and stuff like that. It's really nice.
Also, another thing about it is that both beginning focusers and experienced focusers come, and there's no big deal about who's beginning and who's advanced. So the sense of welcome for people at all levels of experience to me, is very beautiful. We do a few extra things if people are beginners to help you feel like you're part of that world, understand the terminology and so on. But very soon, there's just no difference. Everybody fits in.
the community happens. It's not built, but it happens.
Mhm.
Mm. Mm.
And I will say, as a participant in the summer school, like Catherine, I think without a doubt, it was the best time that I ever had in any focusing event. And to me, it's like summer camp, not summer school. It was just a blast. And we even learned something in addition. So I'm looking forward to it, just to be there.
Yeah, it's playful and fun, and we even learned something. Great.
Mhm.
And the time is up.
Time is up.
Mhm.
So I think I just answered by text one person's question, and I said, you know, there's a couple of wonderful questions that we're leaving hanging, but I think any one of us would welcome people to contact us to learn more about the summer school or other ways that we can support you in going deeper in focus.
Could I just answer that quick question? What do you use it? What can you use the
Sure.
write an email, and you can get much more into your email than
Mhm.
you don't check your words. That's a immediate practical use for something like that.
Mhm.
Thanks, everybody. We're so glad you came.
Bye.
Bye.
Hope to see
Bye.
you soon.
Thank you all.
Bye. Thank you,
Thank you
everybody.
all.